Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All right, we're back.
what up,
We're going to
boys?
start off with a little baseball before we get into our Week 4 NFL preview. Jimmy, you take the floor first with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How about it, baby? Hey, you know what? I was surprised. I loved every minute of it. I still can't believe they won that game. But now, hey, man, we're the Boston motherfucking Red Sox. So if I'm a Rays fan, I'm shitting in my pants a little bit. I mean, they were gonna have to play a tough team no matter what. But
Yeah,
I'm
as
liking
a fake
it, man.
as a fake Rays fan, I'm not worried, not
Are
concerned
you-
at all.
So are
As a
you? Is
half-ass Rays
the
fan.
Cardinal fandom over now? Like that?
Oh yeah,
that,
for sure. I
that's
won't
done
think about
till-
the Cardinals until about
till, like-
next
like
October.
August or
This time next
right,
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It was
like
an
trying to-
exciting 4 hours though of being a fan.
It was a good game,
Yeah.
man. Both those games.
On an otherwise slow Wednesday night, so
That's what we talked about. It was like, dude, the baseball, it worked out perfect because the 2 nights of the week we had elimination games when there's not football on. The only 2 nights of the week there won't be football. We got 2. And in terms of elimination team, like to be in a wild card game, I don't know if we could have gotten 2 like more storied franchises and
good
like,
matchups
history
for
behind
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Man, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
cool.
Brad and I were on the headset last night watching the Cards game, and it gets to the bottom of the 9th, and I had been talking about it for an inning or so. I'm like, man, if this thing goes to extras, I'm going to have to go grab a couple more beers. And so with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, I'm like, I'm just going to assume they get Bellinger out here. I'm going to run to the corner store and get a couple beers. And I left, and I buy my beers, and I get outside the corner store, and I'm walking back, and I check my phone, and I see 3-1 Dodgers final, and I'm like, gosh, damn it, man.
Well,
Son
you
of a
probably,
fucking bitch.
I mean, for that like half an hour, you were rooting for him.
You
the
didn't miss
Cardinals,
out.
so, you would have.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
the way
that
she
was-
goes.
I don't know about bringing Reyes in that spot. And one key to that game I thought too that was big was Wainwright in the 6th inning, I think, or whatever. He was supposed to, he was going to be.
They didn't pinch hit
They
for
didn't
him.
pinch hit for
Right.
him, and then they
Brad
took
mentioned
him.
that.
They let him throw one pitch and then or one to face one batter.
yeah.
The guy got on first, and they took him out.
Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, it was only a guy on first when they let him hit, but it's like, dude, a trip. I mean, David Freese, there was only a guy on first, so I don't know.
It's not a good trade-off to stay into bat and then only face one more hitter.
One batter.
That doesn't make sense.
And
Made
I'm
no
sure
sense.
some reporter asked. I was just too pissed off after the game to listen to the post game. But
Yeah.
again, when you're 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position, you're not going to win the game. I mean,
yeah. And the weird thing was, man, they did what they needed to do. Like they were able to get the pitch count up early against Scherzer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They did kind of what you would want to do, and their approach was good. And then it was like once Scherzer was out of the game, it was just that approach went out the window. It's like they started counting down the innings, and we're like, all right, pressure's on now.
Through the first, it felt like this is another one of those games in that Cardinal streak, the 17.
Yeah,
they manufacture a run in the first. They get out of a little bit of shit in the top, and it just seems like it's going their way, but didn't work out. I think, for once, everybody likes to not talk about strikeouts and homers and say, oh, we need more hits, this and that. But no team in both these playing games had more than 7 hits. So it comes down to you better do some damage when you're making contact. And I think the better offense won in both of these games. I think the Red Sox, even without JD, have a better offense than the Yankees. And the Dodgers, I think, have a better offense than the Cardinals. And it prevailed in both games.
Yeah. One more thing I wanted to mention was just, and this has been brought up, I've listened to stuff all week, but how bad the Yankees base running was. And it wasn't just the one play where, everybody's blaming that third base coach for Judge not making it home, getting thrown out at home. But first off, if you watch the replay, Judge isn't necessarily running his ass off from first to second. He rounds second terribly and takes a super wide turn.
He was even kind of knowing
he had no chance.
It looked like he knew, like, don't send me because this isn't gonna work. And then once he saw that, he didn't want to not listen.
Say no.
Yeah. And ultimately, I mean, it was like you said, dude, because to call it on that, dude, it took the perfect play. The Red Sox executed that play.
Good relay and a perfect throw on the turnaround from
because it was a bang play. I mean, even though he wasn't hustling, it did come down to attack. It was close.
Yep.
So it and in an elimination game, it's like in that situation, if the runner scores, the third baseman's a genius. So it's like, dude, I don't mind if I was a Yankees, like taking that risk right there.
He's like putting the pressure on who's the center fielder that made a really good play, scooping it and bounced off the wall, and he timed it perfectly to scoop it up.
Short hopped it and made a strike. Yeah, so it was.
It's really
poor fucking Giancarlo Stanton, man. Holy crap! I mean, 2 bombs. I was watching and I'm like, oh, that's over, like in the first inning. And then I'm like, whoa. And then, man, and then Bogarts hit one. And the Yankees, that whole boomer bust thing, man, it didn't,
if that game's at Yankee Stadium, those are both out of the park, right?
A couple of them, they said the second one wouldn't have been 11
the first
parks
one off the wall would have not made it. Yeah.
Okay, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one.
They did the numbers on it.
That even still, the announcer got fooled on it. And
did you hear that called, man?
Oh, yeah.
That was so good, dude. That was
a Stantonian home run.
A Stantonian. What did I miss?
What did I miss?
And then he to walk it back. Yeah. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, that was funny, man. But I mean, it was, and for Cardinals fans, it's like, dude, if you were told in July, middle of July, that you're gonna get to see a playoff game and win 17 games in a row in September, I mean, at least they got that run. So I mean, that was cool, I guess.
Yep.
it was cool.
So
the way it worked out, though.
Yeah, let's wrap up baseball there. Moving on to the NFL. Before we get to our picks, a curious question Jimmy brought up. Which veteran QB would you like to see on a new team next year? We've seen this be successful in the past 2 years. Brady went to the Bucs, wins the Super Bowl. Stafford's on the Rams this year. It seems like that's going very well. So, Brad, you start us off here. Which quarterback would you like to see on a new team next season? Contracts are out of the question. It doesn't matter if contracts make this impossible. I kind of took
it as like a dream scenario, because I know obviously we got a few guys that are realistic, but mine's Patrick Mahomes to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think him with that receiving core would be insane. And just the way Kellen Moore, that offensive coordinator, there's certain games where he just doesn't give a fuck about running the ball and just like, all right, Dak, throw it 50 times, win us the game. And Mahomes with that it would be fun to watch. It'd be a little more like vertical, where like Andy Reid's kind of more creative at times.
Yeah,
let him show.
That's a good one. I did not think of. That did not cross my mind. That is a good switch. Jimmy, who do you got?
Well, and this is just to go to like why I brought it up originally. It like when I saw that the Red Sox, that the fucking Patriots released Gilmore, it was like, man, that's weird. But then you saw the money they cut. They freed up a ton of cap space. Can you imagine next year, man, after everything that went on last offseason, if Aaron Rodgers ended up in New England, dude, like that would just be insane. I don't know if Rodgers, after the draft kind of deal that he went through with the pack, because he probably would have less say of it in New England if he was there. Yeah. But man, that would make for but Belichick with Rodgers would be, and it would, man. So I don't know. That would be interesting.
The thing I would fight you back a little bit on that is that, Rodgers has complained about not drafting weapons in Green Bay.
Right. That's what I mean. So I get that.
Weapons in New England are even worse right now.
Yeah, but if Devontae's come out and said he's going to go with Rodgers and he would take a pay cut to do it, so that you would add that. They just signed those 2 tight ends. They spent more money than a lot of teams did in the offseason, and those tight ends will still be there probably next year. You know what I mean? Some of that money was guaranteed, so they'll at least have one of those guys. So you can see that they've done more than the Packers have in the last couple off seasons, like trying to spend money on offense. So I don't know. I just thought that when I saw the money Gilmore, I was like, what the hell would they be trying to do? Why would they get rid of the guy that was an all-pro not too long ago? And then it's like the money. And then it was like, it was just crazy, man. Dream scenario.
Yeah.
A-Rod goes to Denver.
Gilmore just
He goes
wanted
to
out
Denver
too.
in a dream.
I mean, it's not crazy because Bill could see Tom killing it in Tampa and being like, okay, you know what? Maybe I do need to treat my veteran stud quarterback with a little different respect than.
And the same way,
you're not a
look at it like that.
number 8 receiver that plays special teams. It's like, so maybe, but I don't see Bill ever changing for anybody though.
That's more of a realistic one. I think the dream would be him in Denver, obviously, though. That's what they've talked about.
I actually think that's more of a realistic ending than the Patriots one.
It's just with how good the Chiefs are and
down to
shit.
financials. Can they afford Devontae and A-Rod?
Rodgers and Belichick would be insane, man. That would be crazy.
They could find a way to make it work. They could trade off, Sutton and bring in Devontae. If it gets to that point, they could figure out a way to do it.
Definitely.
So mine is
would you be willing to lose Von Miller to pick up
yeah.
Rodgers and Devontae?
I think so.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it just matters so much more.
That's what it's going to take. You're going to have to shed
no doubt
a max contract.
Even though I love him, but
right.
Yeah, I think his best days are probably behind him, and Rodgers still has really good days left in him. Like he's not done quite yet.
I agree.
So,
Matt, who you got in this quarterback dream?
I got Russell Hustle and Bustle Wilson going to play in Las Vegas with the Raiders. Before you guys even jump in, I don't think it's a good fit scheme wise because Gruden and the way he likes to stay on schedule and the plays he calls, he wants them run a certain way. And Russell Wilson is more of an improv guy. But I just think it would be so fun to see them try to make it work. This is nothing against Derek Carr because he's had a good year so far, but I just would love to see Wilson in Las Vegas. That's kind of my side team just because of Gruden. So I'd love to see Russell Wilson go down there.
Yeah, he's good at the play action, dude. And with Ruggs too, he'd be able to hit him like Lockett kind of on. Yeah, that'd be fun. And Russell's never had a good tight end like Waller.
That's very true.
So he's never had that guy, so it'd be perfect for that underneath.
I think Russ would fit in better than you think. In that West Coast kind of
he can play on schedule
game.
He can.
I feel a lot of times it's almost Seattle's lack of creativity that forces him into those like
move around
70-yarder to Lockett kind of thing.
Yep.
But it'd be funny to see Derek Carr in Seattle too.
Yeah. Just
I feel like that would not go as well, I don't think. That would be a
what
mess.
Happened when he got hit last week.
Yeah, he'd be done in about
He's gun shy.
No way.
As Bosa says.
No way I'm going with this guy.
Yeah, I'm kicking a bunch of field goals this week. No way I'm going with that guy.
All right, that was a fun little segment there. Let's get into our picks for week 4. We're starting off with the London game. Jets and Falcons, 8:30. I might be awake by the start of this game. I might not be.
I might be awake by the fucking end of it. I don't know. We'll see.
It is. The Jets are plus 2.5 against the Falcons. Over under set at 45. I'll start with my pick. It's a bold one. I'm going Jets money line. Calvin Ridley is not making the trip to London. That leaves the Falcons with like 1.5 weapons, and Kyle
neither
Pitts
is Gage either.
I was about to mention Russell Gage is the half, so that leaves Ryan with one weapon. I guess you could say Cordero Patterson has become a weapon.
He was a little bit of a weapon last week for ATL and fantasy.
3 touchdowns. So there is that. I think the Jets defense is better than Atlanta's, and I just think this is the fun pick to make for the 8:30 game. Let's roll with the Jets money line.
We give the cream of the crop for London.
Yeah. I did not. I will not be throwing the Jets into any of my parlays this week.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
What about the Saints?
No, I think I need a week off from James.
No Saints this week. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Brad, you take it away. What do you got here for the London game?
I like the under. Over under is a flat 45.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets looked better in that overtime win. I just think Cordell Patterson. They got him a week, but now there's a week of film on him. I don't see a guy that's a career kick returner becoming this like wide receiver 1 basically overnight. I don't see it happening. That Robert Saleh, their head coach for the Jets, he's too smart. It's just going to be an ugly turnover filled game in London way too early that really you shouldn't even bother waking up for if you're not already up.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you like stayed up all night Saturday doing a lot of coke or something. This one's really not. I mean,
And why would you do that? That's going to ruin your whole Sunday.
Hey, right? Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
fuck it up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Take a
I'm trying to
nap
think
and
of like
wake up for the
trying to
3
think of like a
o'clock
poor
game.
Jets fan out there that's like, all right, we're staying up all night. We got a banger. They got their first dub, so I mean, yeah. If it's I'd go just like actually, Matt. I liked what you said, just to fuck
Money
with
line?
the money line on
The
the
straight
Jets.
money line.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Because like you guys brought it up too. We don't got to spend too much on that game, but
Yeah.
with the receivers being out, Cordero Patterson had a big game, but now that they don't have those other two guys out there to be distractions, like they're gonna zone in on him, and I don't. Yeah, and not that the Jets D is great, but yeah, I
Yeah.
would say money line.
All right. Let's move on from that game before Mike Davis is brought up because he's not worth mentioning.
Ugh.
All right.
Well, guys,
Second game I got down here is Saints -2.5 at the Washington football team. Low over under at 43.5. Jimmy, you start us off here. Saints at Washington football team. What do you got for this
I'm gonna
one?
go Washington wins it. So I got them on the money line plus 120. And I think they win the game. I think they're gonna be able to ground and pound it kind of. And I don't know. We saw it from Jameis once when he got great field position in that first week, but since then he's kind of looked like Jameis. So
They're playing it super safe as well.
yeah, they need
like,
to start opening it up if they want to win.
I just don't know that they have the weapons
Michael
outside of Kamara
Thomas's
to really
deal?
open it up.
What's his deal? Like
He
what's
got
going on with
surgery
him?
late, and he's not
So-
ready. He's not back from surgery
He
yet.
put off.
Okay, so
an
it's not
off-season
some
surgery.
bullshit.
No,
It kind of
He'll-
is some bullshit.
It is
on
'cause he
his
could have got
part.
this surgery
Yeah,
at the end of
fucking
the
up.
season. He delayed it like 3 months.
Was it because of COVID or did he just not want to?
No, it was he's being difficult. I think he wants money. He's pissed
Oh,
off with
man.
the situation. I mean, there were
Well,
talks
wouldn't
they were going to
getting the
trade him.
surgery quicker. You play more, so then you could get more, like prove why you should get
He's
more
just-
money. I don't know. It's fucking.
It's kind of like the Lev Bell situation. It didn't really make sense. They just do it. You know.
Okay, yeah. Well, they are anyway. Yeah, that's. I just didn't. I hadn't.
So you
heard
got
about
the
that.
money line.
on
Yeah.
Washington. Yeah.
Brad, what about you?
Yeah, I was going to take Washington, but I was even feeling good taking the. Well, it's gone to 2.5, but I'll still take the plus 2.5.
Okay.
I don't know. Saints, you lose to the Giants. It's
Choked.
and Washington at some point, that defense can't be as bad as they've been playing. Like there's too much talent on that defense to not produce. I mean, Chase Young's been nowhere. It's just I refuse to believe Ryan Kerrigan, who they lost,
Is a difference maker.
That,
in
that's
how
not the
much
difference
success
maker.
they
That
have.
They
defense.
needed him.
So,
yeah.
I like Washington in this game. Taylor Heineke, Battlehawks, baby. Keep
Yeah.
it going.
All right. I wanted to make the same pick as you guys and roll with Washington football team. That I have that feeling about it that this is Washington's week. I don't know that the defensive line of Washington goes off because the Saints do have one of their strong pieces is their offensive line. That being said, I'm taking Kamara under 79.5 rushing yards. I just think there's not enough for the Washington football team to key on except for Kamara. So take him away, especially on handoffs. Keep him under 80 rushing yards. And I win my bet. That's minus 105 was that prop. So I'll take
Yeah, that'll be.
go
Yeah,
with
a-
that.
I don't like that one at all.
Really though, because how many carries is he going to get?
He had
it's not
26 for
touches.
120 last week.
Who are they playing?
Giants. It went
The
to
Giants?
overtime too. It went to overtime.
He had
Oh,
zero
they didn't get the ball
catches,
in
zero
overtime.
targets, 26 carries for 120 yards.
But don't you think that's almost an outlier that he had zero
Possibly,
carries and that many
Just
carries?
That of everything you could choose, you chose that. It's like, I'm not betting
Yeah.
against Kamara.
I wanted to pick the Washington football team. I just didn't. I don't like betting against Jameis outright. So I found something else that I could pick Washington's side on without going against Jameis. That was my
Gotcha.
rationale. It's
I
terrible.
got you. I got
Yep.
you.
The Saints. My knowledge on any Saints game is skewed by my love for Jameis.
Yeah,
the
but your hate
this
for
was
the
told.
Saints is pretty high too, isn't it? You don't like them.
I
right?
used to not like the Saints, but I can't root against Jameis, man.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing the Bucks.
I was listening
I
to the
want-
radio this week, and the guy said, "Hey, love him or hate," or it might have been it was probably a TV show, and they said, "Love him or hate him, Jameis Winston always gives us something entertaining to watch on a Sunday.
He's the
And I was like,
best.
well, that's what Matt always said.
Yeah.
I don't watch him all the time, but
I loved him for the Bucks even when we were losing, man. Like he just is that much. He's so exciting. It's the most exciting quarterback in football since Michael Vick.
He was. Peyton coach.
Yeah, Peyton has really put some fucking handcuffs on him. Let Jameis free.
Yeah, let him eat.
Yeah.
Let him eat the dub.
He does still do the eating the W in the locker room after wins.
I've seen that shit, man. I'm like, what?
All right. That's enough time on Jameis. I'm sorry about that. All right. Next game, Packers -3 at the Cincinnati Bengals. Props to the Bengals for only being 3-point underdogs to a Green Bay team. That's, I feel like, one of the best in the league. So
I didn't understand this one.
Yep. No. I took the Packers -3, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope Burrow does enough to stick with them. I just don't think the Bengals are quite there yet against one of the top teams in the NFL. I think this line, it almost seems a little bit easy. Do we all have
been a few of these this year where we're like kind of weird on them?
Yeah.
And this one's definitely in that category. Yeah. It's weird, man. Because this was my lock. This is my lock of the week. Like this, yeah. That was gonna be my lock of the week. But if you guys I go through another one,
well,
I mean,
I like the under of 50.5 too.
I thought about that. Mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, Mixon isn't playing this week, most likely, and the Bengals barely beat the Jags. And I don't know. It seems like that new head coach in Green Bay, he just doesn't let Rodgers go crazy. Like they run a very balanced attack. You know, like last week, Rodgers had 36 pass attempts. They run the ball 33 times.
Yeah.
So,
but don't you think part of that last week? Part of that, sorry to interrupt, but part of that last week is they're going against the Steelers. So like he's just trying to protect the Steelers D line for making a big play like they did against the Bills on the TJ Watt strip sack to Josh Allen that week 1 game. Some play like that to blow up the game. He's trying to limit the possibility of that by staying balanced.
Yep. It seems just it's not a 1 week outlier that they're a balanced attack.
Well,
but
it's worked for him 3 years.
Everybody's liking the Packers here, though.
Yeah, we can get.
Do you,
one.
Brad? You want me to put you down for Packers -3? You said you like the under, but you want your pick.
Yeah, I'll
is
take
going to be Packers
the
-3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. On to the 3 o'clock afternoon games.
Now we have some fun.
This is my favorite game of the week right here because I feel like I'm going to learn I'm going to learn more from this game than any other, and that is Browns +2 at Chargers. Over under is at 47 points. I love the Chargers is another team. I just love them. I love Herbert. I love the uniforms. I love Eckler.
The Broncos are the only team
I love Bosa calling out the refs. Yeah, I love the AFC West.
Except the Broncos. Every team
for the Broncos. But you could put Jerry Jeudy in a separate little box because I really
it's kind of like you with the MLB, except for like every team but the Red Sox too. It's interesting.
In the AL East, yeah.
No, just the whole MLB.
I like to pick 3 out of 4 teams in a division.
Yeah. The Royals.
All right. There we go. I'll go first here. Browns at Chargers. I have the Chargers money line parlayed with under 47. You can get +230 odds there. Browns defense showed up last week against a powerful offense in the Vikings. And the Chargers defense is, not a top defense, but they're solid. And Baker's not going to beat them. So if the Chargers can just slow down that run game, the score total stays low. Chargers win under 47 points +230 odds. That's my pick. Jimmy, you go next because I can already tell from your face. You're like, you're betting against the Browns again. What are you fucking doing?
What are you doing, man? I've been trying to tell you and you won't listen. No, they're good. The Chargers are a tough football team, but the money line, I have it at +115 for the Browns on Bovada. I like that. That's they're
Browns money line.
Yeah, I think they're going to play dominant football again, kind of like they did last week, like you guys didn't listen to me. So my boy Seahawks probably did, though. And Mo didn't.
Dominant football, 14-7.
I said, dude, I said how they were going to go in though and run the ball and control the clock, and that's exactly what they did. They kept Vikings offense off the field, and I think they can do it again to the Chargers. The Chargers are definitely good, but I don't know if they're like. I think the Browns, not that they're like a tier ahead, but they're just a little ahead.
Yeah.
Of them. I think
What I would say with that though is last week when the Browns won that low scoring game, it was Kirk Cousins against Baker Mayfield. This week is Baker Mayfield against Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert is just so much obviously way.
Well, you
better
also
than
have
he
to
is.
remember Dalvin
I
Cook
just
was
but
hurt.
no,
He
it's
didn't even
well,
play
it's
the
not.
second
They
half.
don't. Do they go out and play each other? Because like to me, it's fucking,
Well, no, but you don't beat Justin Herbert scoring 14 points. It's not going to happen.
I mean, yeah, people did. Yeah, I mean, people didn't think that with the Vikings really either. You guys didn't last week. Their offense, you guys said was good. We'll see. And I also think the Browns' defense is better than you guys are giving it credit.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
I'll give you that one.
I think they're a good team, man. I'll take them plus 115.
Yep, I'm taking the under of 47 in this because I think both defenses are better than people realize. I know Dalvin Cook was hurt last week. You know, he didn't play. They shouldn't have played him. Really, they should have just played Madison. Madison played great the week before. They shouldn't have rushed him back, and I think it fucked that team up. And the Browns took advantage. But yeah, I think the Raiders were a little overrated. I know, Matt, you're a fan.
But I would admit that. Like the 3-0 start was surprising and not necessarily indicative of how good they are. But the fact they could only
put 28 on the Raiders, that's why I like the under. I know you parlayed under in points. So
I like the under and the Chargers money line. So, yeah, this is really going to suck how these bets played out because if the Browns win and this game goes under, you guys are both going to get a win on this game, and I'm going to take the L. All right, Brad, are you sure you don't want to jump on board and add the Chargers money line to the under?
No, hey, I don't know why you're taking this. You're doubling down here. This isn't lock of the week or anything. We're just looking to survive.
Oh no, I like this. This is my favorite game of the week. I need to see a big plus number, a juicy one in front of
me. When you bet with your heart, it always turns out well.
Oh yeah.
Once in a while, you hit gold.
Yep. Right. How about those Saints?
Yep. That's last week, man.
Just throw, baby.
All right. Moving on. Bears. This is the largest spread of any game we're talking about, and that is the Chicago Bears plus 5.5 at the Las Vegas Raiders. Brad, you take the floor here. It's a big number for a kind of what I kind of see as an even matchup as far as talent. Justin Fields is still a little bit of an unknown.
Yeah, I just finished bashing the Raiders, and I'm going to go ahead and take them as the 5.5 point favorite
by 5.5.
I do. Okay. We've seen flashes of Fields in what he's played. He doesn't look like a game changer yet. Like eventually, I think he will be. But with Montgomery out, that he was just carrying that offense. I mean, he was a stud. So with him gone, I think Gruden holds on the ball for way too much clock, and they win.
Yeah, the Montgomery out is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Jimmy, maybe I'll dig some more information out of you before I make my pick because I'm already questioning what I have written down here.
With the shovel. Where's Hector Zeroni at?
Yeah.
Over 44.
Over 44. It's too low.
Yeah. I think the Raiders can. I think after last week, Gruden's going to be up their ass too about not, they came out so flat in that first half against the Chargers, man. It's crazy at that stadium, SoFi, how quickly, like they had a home game for the Rams on Sunday and then had Monday Night Football for the Chargers.
All painted up for the Chargers.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man. I guess it helps when they're the exact same color. Like that doesn't hurt, man. You know what I mean? As long as
you throw a lighter blue on top of a blue.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. We got some yellow over here, and just take the logos off. But Kroenke will fuck up in one of the bathrooms or something. There's gonna be a Chargers logo during a fucking Rams Niners game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the over at 44.
Okay.
I like that one too.
I do like that. That seems low, especially with the Raiders defense being banged up.
Yeah.
I had down Bears plus
Raiders.
5.5, but I'm actually gonna back Jimmy here. I'm gonna take that over 44 because who knows? Justin Fields, I haven't seen enough in the NFL to trust him. I do like him a lot. He's my favorite quarterback in the class. I've said it before.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like it too.
I'll just ride that over. Seems like a given because the Bears defense, it's solid, but with the way Gruden game plans, it really doesn't matter. He'll find a way to kind of pick you apart and score enough points,
And like
Raiders,
what you said about the Raiders or whatever, it's like we haven't seen a lot from Fields, but the Raiders haven't either. So he could run a couple in maybe, or have some crazy play where he runs for 30 and they, get some points off of that. So.
Well, and we haven't seen any designed runs yet out of Chicago for Fields. They're
For
still
him.
playing like Dalton's playbook,
Dalton's
basically.
game. Yeah,
it's like, when are you going to start,
At least they announced it. We've been waiting on that one the whole podcast since we started, guys. Like
since before the season.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he did to celebrate? So he already lives with his parents in Chicago.
Fields?
Fields. So they all find out. The parents like, we got to go out to dinner. We got to celebrate. He goes, no, I got to stay home and study. The parents went out, celebrated. He stayed home. He's like, yeah, I just kicked it with my dog, Uno, and we watched film all night. I was like, hey,
that's a good sign.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what you want to hear.
Quarterback, I'd be happy about that. Yeah.
Chicago hasn't been that pumped about a QB since Cutler.
Yeah. All right, we got enough time here.
He was as dedicated.
Yeah.
Cutler
his dog's name is Uno.
Uno. Yeah.
I like that name. That's a good dog name.
That is cool, man. Yeah.
We got time here for one more game. Last game we're going to do before the break, and then we'll be back to do Bills at Chiefs. But the last game here is 49ers at Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by 5 in a divisional game. That being said, like right now, I'm going to ride with the Cardinals, the hot team. Take Cards -5. Trey Lance gets his first start. I don't think he's ready for it. He would have started sooner or gotten more playing time, at least if he was ready. So I'll take the Cardinals laying 5 points. Cardinals are just playing too good right now to have a rookie quarterback get his first start and go on the road into Arizona and stay with him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is this another one where we might all be on board?
Yeah.
Well, I only disagree because what I've heard is Jimmy G's probably playing.
Really? So this changed.
So what last thing I heard was that it's very possible he plays. And so at that point, I like San Fran +5. I think Arizona still wins. I just think with Jimmy G, a combination of those two, because I've said all along, I don't hate using 2 quarterbacks. And I think if anybody can do it, Shanahan's going to run it the smartest way possible, using Lance and using Jimmy G. And I don't know. I feel like the Cardinals got to come down to earth at some point a little bit. I mean, they're just looking like the best team in the NFL, hands down, right now. You don't think so? You think they continue to ride, Jimmy?
Well, I was like, so the over-under's at 50 right now on Bovada, or just a couple hours ago. So this would have been maybe like 2 hours ago. But it was, I think if Garoppolo is playing, I would definitely parlay the money line Cardinals -225 and then the over at 50. But I also think the Cardinals, I don't think -5 is a bad bet. I think the Cardinals kind of have their way with them. I think they beat their ass.
What do you want me to put you down for? The Cards?
Because I don't know fucking parlays in this. It's like we should get a bonus or something because it doesn't make sense, But just do the
you're just risking it.
Just do -5 and parlay with the over. Cardinals -5 and the over.
Wait, you want Cards? If you're gonna go that route, Cardinals money line.
Do the money line in the over because I don't want to. Yeah. But yeah, I think that especially if Garoppolo's in, dude, I think he could maybe throw for some shit. But dude, I think they probably like it. I know in power rankings, I think they were number 1 finally this week, Arizona. But I think they're fucking
power rankings.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
People are finally acknowledging them as one of the better teams. Like they're getting that love. The Chiefs were real low on that list. And I wonder what the bets are for them to win the Super Bowl right now because like that, I hate
They
them.
probably still have like the second highest odds.
Yeah,
We got
do it.
actually a few
Yeah.
minutes left. Let's check. Let's take a look.
Yeah, see what that is.
I'll look at my bookie
Yeah,
and
'cause
Bovada, see
I
if I
mean,
can find it.
They were not getting love, and their defense is just not. I don't know, man. They
Yeah, the
haven't-
Chiefs and Bucks are still the favorites, both at
Okay.
plus 450. Which
Oh,
that's
wow,
such
so it's
shitty
not.
odds. You can't
Yeah,
even make
that
that
is.
bet.
There's 32 fucking teams in the
Yeah,
NFL. You have
plus
no idea.
450. Give
You're
me a
only
fucking
getting.
break.
Yeah, man.
I'll take my chances on a 5-team parlay this Sunday.
Don't do 6, man. That's how you get fucked.
All right,
Include the
let's take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll finish up our last game of the week, which is Bills at Chiefs.
Go
Another
Bull Sox.
excellent matchup. And then we'll get on to our, fantasy picks and all that jazz. All right. See y'all in a second.